What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. We are here live in the building. Please put the likes in the chat. The likes are free. Jesus paid it all. Hit the like button. Now, again, drop your city and state in the chat because, tonight I was about to make an Ohio roast video. I was about to just roast Ohio all night, but I said I'm not going to do it, right? Because somebody in the chat was like, Columbus, Ohio has all this growth and it's gangbusters over there. And I just wanted to clarify again. I brought it up that Ohio lost 3,500 factories. Ohio is losing millions of its citizens. Ohio is losing a ton of its medical staff to other states recruiting them. Ohio literally has banners and billboards all over Texas saying, hey, move to Ohio. We have 4 seasons. We've got great weather. We've got cheap housing. Again, we're not going to make this a roast Ohio video, but I definitely want to make sure you guys understand when I'm teaching these classes and educating you on certain things. And people say, well, where I'm at is nice. That's like saying I'm in the middle of Haiti, but where I'm at in Haiti is great. Yes, that may be true. Where you're at in the middle of Haiti may be great, but there's other issues going on in Haiti that need fixing. Okay? So just, I get it. You're proud of your town. You want to tussle with me on the internet, but the men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Okay? So again, that's my little rant for Ohio. I'm going to leave alone. Exactly, KB. Who would leave Texas for Ohio? People older, people from the Midwest, people maybe sad, people just they need cold weather. I don't know. They a Viking. I don't know. Anyway, let me get into it. This video is me talking about, and I've been talking about it for years. And now, if you've understood, the value that you're going to see the next couple of years is going to be in real estate. Is going to be from people who own land and build from the ground up. Now, there's two things I want to tackle. Grant Cardone has kind of been on this rant for a good 5 years. Don't buy a house. Oh, don't buy. It'll stop you from moving. It'll stop you from doing all stuff. I have yet to see somebody who has a house that ain't moved when they want to move. I haven't seen it. There may be one or two people like I just can't leave my house or something, but 99.9% of people who want to move a city out of a city, they will move out of that city. They got to rent that house, sell grandma house for $2. They leave in that city. Okay. Now Grant Cardone has this thing. Oh, I wouldn't buy a house, but Grant Cardone is searching day and night with Meet Kevin on another plane. They out here searching day and night in every southern Sun Belt. Okay, be careful. I'm gonna say Rust Belt and Sun Belt, so y'all know what I'm talking about. Sun Belt city, Nashville, Birmingham, Huntsville, uh, all over Texas, all over Florida, all over Georgia. Because this, the South will rise again, as they were saying. But really, truthfully, the next 20 years, it's a Southern move. Now you're gonna say, well, Erica, there's gonna be people moving north for the weather and the retirement and the whole people don't move north for retirement, y'all. I know y'all fight me on this, but people don't move north for retirement. That is unheard of. Most people move south. Now, if they move north, they had to take care of a parent. They had family member there. They inherited a house. They broke. They got to go back somewhere. But 9 times out of 10, people move south. So when I sit here and tell you for the past 2 years, maybe the past 4 years, I've been sharing over and over how one, my struggles with Detroit. Okay. Listen, great food, interesting state, terrible laws that hurt business and property owners. And when I sit here and I tell y'all about the moves that are happening in real estate, and Diamond Dave said on one of his videos, I need to put it behind the paywall. Some of this stuff will be disappearing behind a paid wall. Look at that movie coming up. Some of this will disappear behind a paywall coming up soon, and some of this will be running with ads. So it's all stuff coming down the pipeline. Now, listen, if you're going to join me for some of our live trainings, the end of this week, we have a live training on digital real estate, how to pull 100K out of these digital market spaces. But right now, we're talking about real estate. And one of the best, hands down websites. Now, there's a young man on YouTube. I don't have to talk smack about him. He essentially has been for 2 years talking about everything's going to crash. Everything going to crash. And he's going to make a website. Basically, he's going to try to make the real deal. But you can't, the real deal right here, okay, if you guys can see this on your screen, if everybody can see it, put a one in the comments. This is a New York real estate news what you would call blog, what you call article, magazine, whatever you want to call it, right? It's paid. You have to pay at a certain level for this. But I want you to understand, This started for New Yorkers because New Yorkers were like, we about to go out and get big money. Where? See the top cities up here in the Sky Bar? South Florida, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, Texas, National. So this started compiling podcasts, videos, information, research, the hottest tips. If you want to, you ain't got to listen to me, but if you want to sit for the next 6 months and you want to be the top dog in real estate, go on this Real Deal site, pick a city because there's a ton of information on here, niche it down and study it hardcore for the next 6 months and get your money ready. Get yourself in position to what you want to do. Because this right here, it's like, this is like the gossip pages for business people. This is the gossip pages for real estate. This is like hot button on the issue. Everything that you guys hear me talking about on real estate in here, I've said it, gone on Real Deal, found an article that supported my conversation. Or just educating me, period. Right. And it'll tell you about events, it'll tell you about all kind of stuff. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick for y'all. Hold on. Now, even here, as we're just scrolling down the main page, okay? This is the main page. And you're talking about Las Vegas Sands pitches casino, right? You start scrolling down the latest news. Grocery chain H Mart to open up on the Upper East Side. Why? Because H Mart is a Korean-based store. And it's like the Korean American kind of wave is coming, but I can't explain that to y'all right now. Let me keep going. So then you go down here and let me go down a little bit more. Home building startups raises $29 million. Welcome Homes, a prop tech company that sells and builds home on vacant land, raised $29 million. Right? There's so many little articles. If you just sit on here and just kind of just study just a bit, you're going to learn so much stuff. Okay. Now, to the point of this article, you get down here a little bit further. Now, here's the real big deal. Okay. And you're going to see this name over and over again. You're going to see this name over and over again. But if you just do this, click here, right? Now we're going to go to this article. And I want y'all to, this is the whole point of the show. Struggling with a $481 million loan. Joe Chetrit, I don't know how to say it right, y'all don't get with me, looks to sell his national portfolio. Okay, so he's looking to sell it. Now, developer failed to pay off floating rate loan. But if you dig deep, hold on, I gotta log in. Man, they tripping. Hold on, let me log in, y'all, real quick, 2 seconds. If you dig deep on here, what ends up happening, hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. See if it let me sign in. Come on. Uh-oh. You know, right when I want to do something cool, it'd be hating. It's a hater. This computer hating on me today, y'all. Long and story short, you're gonna say, well, where did all his properties come from? Why is he struggling with his properties? Well, they're all in the dead zone. And what did I tell y'all about Detroit? Detroit is a zombie. You can make money off zombies. And many people have tried to tame Baltimore, tame Detroit. And many people have done what? Lost their back, lost their shirt, lost all their money. They've lost a lot. Doing what? Going into these markets that are zombie markets. And unfortunately, you know what I mean? People aren't honest with themselves that, hey man, this market ain't hitting like you think it should be. Hold on. Okay, now I gotta reset my dang on password. This right here. You know, when I try to have a cool show, they haters. Hold on a second, y'all. When you come into these markets, you may think, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm seasoned. I'm smart. I can do this and that. But at the end of the day, you're dealing in a marketplace that's a zombie. Hold on a second, y'all. And what ends up happening is the smaller mom and pop in a zombie market can make it. You might not make it in the zombie market. Why not? Because if they only got 25 of the best in your area, right? They got 25 of the best in your area. And you come in and you're trying to buy 25 more of the best. Somebody gonna have some dogs in that. Now, what does that mean? Some people are gonna have some crap. Some people are gonna have some crappy alternatives. Everybody can't get the best in a smaller market, and you're more primed to beat me in your backyard than I am to beat you in your backyard. Does that make sense? If I'm trying to come to your town and tell you how to do things, really, you're gonna run circles around me if done properly. That's why you'll see a guy and a girl with 10, 20, a small set of rentals, and they retired and living their best life, and you over here trying to figure out how they did that, right? There's several people who, if you think about it, Mr. Henry Washington, all these people, they were literally got 31 units in their city. Aisha Selden's got 30 plus units in her city. They're making 30, 40K a month out of their areas. But if you talk to some people, they don't went into Philly, they don't went into Arkansas and lost money. So, prime example with this guy, majority of his portfolio is in where? New York and the Rust Belt. Why is this important? Okay, let me go to the homepage. Thank you. Let me in. Okay, there we go. Hold on, y'all. Share it back with y'all on the screen. Okay, let me go back in here. Right. There we go. Now we should be good. Okay, so let's look at his national portfolio. The Chetrit Group, which we'll pull open in another window, they're currently facing default on a $481 million loan, covering 43 properties that the developer is now looking to sell. Now you can go, Ericka, that's 43 properties. That's not a lot. But out of the 43 properties, it's 8,671 unit portfolio that he picked up in mid 2019, right? Because 2019 prices ain't 2022 prices. People renting in some of these areas are not renting anymore, right? So let's just name it: New York, the Sun Belt, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Despite 2 years of strong rental demand, his portfolio has a mere 76% occupancy. Now, this is the average. Now, let's come on. This is the average. When everybody else is full, you at 76%. Where's that coming from? All right, so let's just go by that. All-time highs in December 2021, topping 97%. As a result, he says his holdings weren't generating cash flow. He needed to fully serve the loan. Okay, now what do y'all know about when you have a loan? All the money coming from this place pays the loan. Half this money in this man's pocket. But anyway, let's keep going. Now, it's possible the developer went from paying 5% interest in early 2022 to paying now over 10% interest. Now, remember when I kept telling y'all that these family offices want to invest in all this real estate because they know, hey, if nothing else, we're going to get 4% out of the deal, right? He, once the loan went to 10% interest, he crying. Oh, help me. Help, I can't afford it, right? So now an Atlanta-based firm called Global Street, right here, Global Street. They remember this name. You're gonna see it more and more news. It expects to see the distress in the Sun Belt, right? It's saying, oh yeah, we're gonna have problems down here. They won't have problems in the South like they will have in the Rust Belt, right? Because they've had record rent growth, occupancy levels have begun to slip. What happens when people move south, y'all? They go to an apartment, and this is a story old as time. You can ask anybody who moved to Dallas. I came from California to Dallas. They realize how cheap a house is. A year later, they in a house. You got people from Ohio, Pittsburgh, all these places. They move into an apartment. They move south. They look up how cheap a house is, and they move into a house. So single family housing in the Sun Belt is still going to be gangbusters, but I'm gonna just keep going. All right. The firm cautioned, though, if the rising rates loosen up in the labor markets, layoffs could reduce the revenue streams of multifamily landlords. There are likely going to be some distress in hot spots that emerge in 2023. Now, what would be some of those distressed hotspots? Parts of Texas, probably Nashville, Atlanta. Atlanta building a lot of buildings, and they're not ready for the people. So again, let's just go ahead and get in here. All right. This is the untold story of the man from Morocco. So that's why I'm keep messing up his name is Moroccan, and I'm not doing good. Untold story behind him. If you go down, they drew a little cartoon for him. Okay. Now, come out here. Here, this is all boring. Sorry. Anyway, it just talks about where he paid $900 million to buy Chicago's iconic Willis Tower, formerly Sears Tower, in 2004. He also bought um, something and sold it to Blackstone Group for 1.3 billion. I bet he did. He owns tens of thousands of apartments around the nation. The last April, he sold 5,500 units in multiple states. He's developing 1 billion. Let's go there. This is real reason why he need to sell. He's developing a 1 billion mixed use project in Brickell, dub Miami River. The Brickell, okay? Now, not just that. He owns properties in the United States for sure, but he owns properties in Israel, France, Peru, Canada, and his native Morocco. Now he's 64. He hasn't slowed down a bit. But the last 2 years, he has seen a flurry of deal making. Why has he seen a flurry of deal making the last 2 years, y'all? What happened the past 2 years that would make a bunch of people do some deal making? That make them run around and get some money? Again, if the big dogs are out here, and I don't want to read y'all to death, but if the big dogs are out here liquidating New York and Midwest Rust Belt area housing, and he's dropping $1 billion in Miami, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Y'all sit here and argue with me. Oh, Ohio's booming. It's great. Again, I told y'all, parts of Detroit, parts of Ohio can literally have great little job growth. Some tech go there, some new construction, but the money, the money and the people are south. And if you have someone like a Grant Cardone, love him to death, gonna still go to his 10X, you have him telling you as a Southern person not to own a house or land or a farm, you need to run. You need to run. Why do you need to run? Because again, y'all, that the only way to play on this Monopoly game board is if you own some land. If you don't own any land, you can't play. Why did I just show y'all where all the California people, and I'm going to pull it up in a little bit. California is bleeding white and black people, but it's gaining Latino and Asian folks, mostly Asian folks. Why is that? What's happening? High skills business ownership. Again, if 99% of people looking for a job and they in California complaining about the rent, complaining about food, I just need a higher paying job. Yeah, they gonna make jobs for you. It ain't gonna pay what you want though. It's just not. Right? So if you see the money moving to the southeast, but someone's telling you, yeah, you should own a home. When you know a bulk of the people that you see homeless in Atlanta complain about the price of rent. And Atlanta rent was cheap forever. It won't 1992 cheap, but it's been cheap forever. And so now you have this rise of homeless in Atlanta, and they're like, oh, what can we do about these people? They're going to have to move. They got to move to Macon. They got to move further south. They got to move somewhere. But pay attention to what people with money are doing. This man, like, y'all can have the whole portfolio in the Midwest. I don't care. Keep it. Have it. Bye. I'm down in Brickell putting $1 billion in Miami. Because that's going to be an international city. It's already international, but you know what I'm saying. It's an international city. I'm going to get money from all over. Now, I'm not saying the Rust Belt's dead, it's over, it's completely over, but I call them dead zones. You know why I'm calling them dead zones? Ohio lost 3,500 factories by the time 2011 came around. In a decade. All the opioid crisis that you're hearing about, that's all Midwest on steroids. There's 57 cities in the Northeast that won't even arrest people for being high on opioids because they just don't have the capacity. You literally have cities choosing not to arrest people high. You see the videos on Philly. What's the name of that place in Philly where the street is just full of zombies and druggies down a whole street and everybody makes videos on it? You see that stuff happen in the Midwest. You see it happen in the Rust Belt. When you take work away from people and they have no purpose, right? Makes a dangerous situation. Dangerous situation. Okay, so let's keep moving. Let's keep it moving. There you go. This is why gentrification works. They do a clean sweep, rebuild, and populate. Facts on facts. Some Israelis I'm dealing with are now looking at Detroit because they lost their shirts at NYC. Our landlord tenant policy is bad, but it's still better than the Big Apple laws. Let me tell you something, Agent J. Poole. I can't agree. You know what I'm saying? New York is bad now. They've been having people in there for 2-3 years. Bad. Detroit's just as bad. If I want to put somebody out today, I might be able to get them out by May. I might be able to get them out by July. That's how backed up the courts are in Detroit. When I called and I had to dispute about the water bill, I said, man, y'all, they done stole the meter off my house the first day I bought it. I ain't had no meter over here. Yeah, it's still 2,500. From where? Oh, sewer. Ma'am, there's no toilets in this house. It's a vacant house. It's busted down to the studs. Ain't nothing in the house, ma'am. How do I have a water bill at all? Well, just they didn't want to contest it, right? So you start asking her, trying to calm down. I'm asking her, so is nobody paying their bill? She's like, girl, if I could show you how many people ain't paid their bill in Detroit, you'd be shocked. So I know people like, oh, Detroit's better. No, that's why all that billions of dollars left and went to Columbus, Ohio to even build, because Detroit wasn't honoring owners' property rights. And for me, that's it. Sell these last couple, I'm gone, baby. Even if I wanted to invest money to make it Section 8 quality, it ain't worth it. When I could go build new construction, when I can go develop a whole little plaza down here, when I can go develop a whole apartment complex in the South where there's land and less regulation. I just want y'all to see where the puck is moving. If you're a Black person in the South and someone goes, oh, I'm thinking about owning a farm, go look up all these farm channels that's out here on YouTube. A lot of these people are subleasing land to be a young farmer. And I'm like, nah, just go further out. Go homestead further out. You're sharecropping, right? They forgot the word what sharecropper is, but that's what they're doing right now. They said the city of Cleveland, Ohio recently closed Roast Belt. It is what it is. Mixed use in Miami equals cash cow. Brickle is where it's at. The puck been getting kicked. The bucket been getting kicked. Let me see. Over leveraged, but that's the thing. Even if he knows, there's some bets, even if they're over leveraged, they can do the math. When he said, can't do it, here you go. Here you go. There you go. Like Diamond Dead said, we have free markets though, right? Capitalism is not people skipping on the rent for months on end. It's not. We're really in socialism. We're really on socialism. And we can't even talk about it. But again, I'm gonna keep on going. Long story short, he says, no, despite his penchant for mega deals, little has been written about how he does everything he can to evade the spotlight. See people with some big dollars that you can kidnap them. Yeah, he don't want this. He never grants media interviews. And a handful of profiles he's written about him, details about his early life are thin. He done murdered somebody. And he's sometimes been described in ways that carry a hint of menace. See, even the people that don't know him, they're like, he's a menace. He's mean. You don't know this man. Okay? So he's the most mysterious big short in New York real estate. Basically, he behind the scenes bumping elbows, okay? Making deals, okay? Somebody called him secretive. Someone called him stout, blunt talking man with a mustache and an old felony conviction. Y'all see that? See, they don't even know this man, but they talking about he got an old felony conviction. He's tough. They're like, he guards his privacy fiercely. Think about it, y'all. He demonstrates his deep pockets to sellers by showing them a checking account with over 100 million in it, which has led to widespread speculation about his fortune. So see, listen, I could go over a whole thing about the 48 laws of power, but I ain't gonna bore y'all. These people don't know. He's a mystery. They don't know where the money coming. He might have not had no money. He might have had he had to front some people into some deals. This is the stuff people don't understand. There's power in being mysterious, but that's another conversation. He even declined for an interview for this article where they talk about him. Of course he is. Now let me go down here. Supposedly, again, question mark on this because I don't even believe it. He was born in 1957 in Morocco, right? Let me go on down here. Where I saw it. He spent much of his youth from Casablanca to Paris. Then he headed to New York at 17 years old. Who told you that? He told y'all that, or y'all found some documents? Okay. Anyway, he said there's legal trouble. In 1990, again, I skipped some of this. Y'all can read this on your own. In 1990, he pleaded guilty to evading customs duties by illegally importing more than 1.5 million square yards of fabric into the United States from Korea by shipping it through France and disguising its origin. He was sentenced to 250 hours of community service and fined $10,000, given 3 years probation. They said, his lawyer said he lost his business as a result of this. Family members said it's just not true, right? Because people talking smack, they're like, "Oh, you lost your business because you got guilty." And his family's like, "That's not true. He wanted to do something else," which led him into what? Real estate. He amassed a portfolio of outer borough real estate buildings in Queens and Brooklyn, which he sold for $70 million in the early 90s. Man, if he'd have held it to 2000s, probably bought it for pennies on a dollar. He bought 1980s. He bought that crack era. Bought that stuff for pennies on a dollar. Okay, so long story short, 1994, one of his people that worked for him was a top investment sales broker in the city, received a call from a mysterious man with a thick French accent. He said, "I want to buy this building on 19 West 44th Street. He says, "It's nice to meet with you over the phone, sir, but we don't work with anybody we don't know." See, I wanted to pause. Man got the cash. Call the people up. Oh, we don't know the people we don't know. A lot of y'all think y'all going to be on this internet being gangsters. There are still places in this world where you will have to meet somebody in person. You will have to show up to pay in person. You will have to show up to eye to eye contact. You're not about to get 200, 300, 400, 500 grand, $1 million with no eye contact, with no phone call. This is something millennials and Gen Z think, "I'm going to do it all from the internet. Everything from the internet. I'll never have to meet a person." I'm telling you now, as a grown woman who's done a ton on the internet, I still have to meet people in person. I still have to do paperwork in person. I got a whole rant video on how the bank didn't want to give me my money today. That's tomorrow, y'all. I just recorded it in the car. I was so pissed. Okay. Sometimes you got to see people in person. You got to walk up in there. "Hey, excuse me." So again, even this man buying a multi-million-dollar building, he gonna have to, "Well, we don't know you, sir. You're gonna have to come in there. We don't just work with somebody we don't know." Okay? That's how these people keep this stuff locked out. But that's another conversation. Can everybody see the building in the picture? Can everybody see it? This is the $1 billion thing he's building in Brickell. And he gonna make every dollar, every dime. He gonna get it. Look at that thing on the waterfront. Buildings are gorgeous. Half office, half building. It's going to be beautiful. Okay? It just is going to be what it be. It's going to be beautiful. Okay? So again, let me go back. All right. So then the guy told him that on the phone, right? Thinking he going to run him off of there. 10 minutes later, the dude appeared in his office. What's up? With his brother and his father, neither of whom at the time seemed to speak English. "This is my family," he said. "We are here. Now you know me. We own some residential real estate, but we want to go into commercial. We heard about you selling it. We like the building, and we are quick actors. We would like to buy it from you." Y'all, pause. Man, did y'all hear that though? I really want y'all to hear that. Put a one in the comments if you heard what I said. This dude showed up 10 minutes later at this guy's office. You know the guy wanted to pee on himself. With his daddy and his brother, nobody speaking English, just looking at him. "Hey, this is my family." What's his name from that show? Fast and Furious. What's his name? Don. "This is my family." "We are here. Now you know me. We own some real estate. We want to go commercial. We're quick actors. We'd like to buy it from you." You can't even say no at this point as a real estate agent. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen is they're going to be like, "You just did discrimination." You can't even say no to showing him the documents because you going to hit too many. "Oh, he just discriminated against me. I'm a minority. I'm Middle Eastern. You can't. The dude was so nervous. He took the trio the family, and prescribed oh damn, can't talk. Proceeded to describe the residential he had built. Buildings far smaller. He was just talking about all this stuff, and they said we aren't interested in discussing cap rates and IRR. We ain't interested. We ain't trying to hear that. He said they looked as if they just came off a boat from Morocco. See how disrespectful this guy talking? He said they looked as just they just came off a boat from Morocco. Just the way they were dealing. These guys are not real estate investors. They're traders. Buy low, sell high. They were very pragmatic. They were looking to buy a building like you buy furniture. They were coming in with a lot of energy. What does that mean when somebody say you coming in with a lot of energy? That's that. It's discrimination. I'm trying to think of a nice word to say it, but it's like, oh, he was so loud. You're so very nice. That black woman had an attitude. This is the most PG way for this white man to say he came in here with a lot of energy. They weren't real estate investors. They were traders. This is inflammatory, y'all. I know y'all don't hear it, but imagine being in New York City and someone got the nerve to try to play you like you're not educated enough to buy something. I got the money. Give it to me. I'm here. I brought my whole family. You playing these games saying you don't know me. You don't work with people you don't know. Well, we in here. We want to buy it. What's the problem? See, this is what happened to me at the bank today. It's my money. Give it to me now. I know the rules. Stop playing with me. See, a lot of these people are what they're going to come on the next 2 to 5 years is they're going to start understanding that there's a new class of investor. There's a new class of people coming up. The guy coming to your office to buy something is not going to be a white man. 9 times out of 10, he's going to be a minority. I told y'all the last 4 times I've been to apartment syndications, the room was 90% minority, 10% white. And I'm talking about the Asians. I'm talking about the Nigerians. I'm talking about the Indians. They are partnering together to buy up buildings. I'm sitting here telling y'all this on YouTube, and I'm laughing because I'm getting up out of here by the end of January. The deals are out there. The money's out there. The people are out there. The last couple of events I've been to, hey, what's your name? Where's your numbers? Where you at? No playing. They don't play. If I pull up to your city and you don't engage, I'm done. Because we have the monies. As hard, what is that? What does Arby say? We have the meats. Okay, we got the meats. Do you want to play? We have the meats. I'm in a builders group, a whole nother builders group. Half the builders group is Hispanic, it's Latino, it's black, it's very brown. People are moving and shaking. You know why? Because we're living in these neighborhoods. We're seeing what's happened when you don't own the land. We're seeing what's happened when you don't own the apartment. Now you got cousin, brothers, sisters, homeless, sleeping in cars. You got them coming to sleep at your house because they don't have nowhere to go because you don't control the housing. The number one issue you hear in the black community every day on this internet is, oh, the rent too high. The rent too high. It's not police brutality. I know people get mad at me. It's not police brutality. It's not the cost of eggs, because y'all eating out every day anyway. It's the cost of housing. And so when someone like a Grant Cardone, anybody out here is telling you, oh, don't worry about housing, they're pumping fear into our community. Oh, don't get a house. Don't get a house. Oh, the crash. But guess what these people going to do? They're going to come down from New York. They're going to buy up everything around you. And then when you look up later, 10 years later, when you get your senses about you to buy something, it's too late. It's too late. Okay? Literally, a German couple offered my cousin a house for $30,000 and I was a kid, maybe like 1991. And people like, oh, you getting that house over there? He said, I sure am. That house has been paid off, y'all. And he's had tenants from New York live in that house and rent for him for 15 years straight, paying $800 to $900 a month from New York. And they were like, this is a steal. And my cousin's laughing because the house been paid off for since 91. You tell me, what is a true multiplier? $800 coming in your pocket all the time, every month, like clockwork? Or you being able to be like, I live in the best little tiny apartment. I paid $2,000 for this apartment, but I'm in downtown Atlanta. I'm sorry. Decatur is not Atlanta. Sandy Springs is not Atlanta. No. By the name of all the cities. But I really want y'all to understand this is what's happening. You're coming into a room with your whole family, and somebody's trying to tell you you have money, but you can't buy. Pay attention. Y'all should be educating yourselves. If you don't do nothing else from this channel, read this website called The Real Deal. Every day, I'm seeing minorities come into the space and buy up land, and people are writing articles like, did y'all see these minorities come down here to Georgia and buy all this up? This is what these articles look like when you really read them, y'all. Do you see these Moroccans? Do you see these Egyptians? Do you see these Arabs coming over here and buying it up? But y'all not paying attention. Y'all too busy arguing about men and women and silly stuff online. But that's okay. Let me keep on going. So they also spoke a bit of Cohen's native Hebrew. They were pleasant and friendly and quickly developed a rapport with the broker. Now, let's just go here. Let's have an honest moment. The broker was Jewish. The broker was Jewish. So this is not a white man going against minorities. This is a Jewish man telling you he only work with people he know, which is true. That's true to their culture. The man that came in here from Morocco with his whole family. You don't want to act right to him. They even start speaking a little Hebrew to you for you to calm down, because clearly he was not calm. He's trying to play you like he was. He clearly had an attitude. When you start trying to speak somebody native language, you really trying to work with them. You really trying to like, hey, if I see somebody Korean, hey, Hanjo, how you doing, girl? What's up? Little bow, all that stuff. That's really you trying to bend over backwards to work with somebody. Okay. So if you read the rest of this, long and the story short, they couldn't deny them. They had to give it to him. Then I'll talk about the fact that he had to go somewhere with the dude, and the dude chain smoked in the car for 2 hours. And he was upset because, I can't breathe. Again, listen, this man just put millions of dollars in your pocket. I don't care if you had to drive from New York to Connecticut and you're stuck in traffic the whole way. You're gonna get this money. Okay. So anyway, you can go through here. Long story short, they talk about 2 million this, 200 million that, 146 million here, 80 million here, a New York building for another 64 million. And so sometimes this guy literally said, sometimes dealing with Joe is like dealing with the Twilight Zone. Can you imagine the disrespect that these people are offering you in New York City? And then they mad because you're mysterious, because you refuse to play with them. I don't have time to play with y'all. I'm not about to do here and do all these interviews. I'm not about to go to do all these dinners. I'm not going to go to all these banquets. I'm not going to kiss y'all butt. Y'all going to sell me these billions and you're going to shut up. This is what they're doing. And they're mad that they're doing it. They don't have to play the game. Oh, let me be nice to you. Let me talk to you. No, they got to do that. That's what happens when you have the monies. When you have the monies, okay? Let me see. He's also bought a hotel for 80 million, near the Clippers building. He bought he did a $1 billion mega deal to buy the Sony building and convert it into luxury condos. And then he sold that instead for 1.4 billion. So he walked away with what? Millions. He doing a lot of deals. So they're like, he's a deal junkie. These people are talking smack via very politically nice words in here, y'all. Right? So they're like, hey, he was trying to sell the building to some guys named Rubenstein. I'm just going to say it. You can, take that how you will. We're not doing any Jewish slander here, but he was supposed to sell to a Rubenstein. The Rubensteins were tripping. They were struggling to get $500 million for the project. So guess what he just did? He sold it. He said, I ain't got time for y'all. He sold it to somebody else, and they're mad with him in New York because he wouldn't wait. He's tough on us, they said. He's tough on us. How dare him be so tough? Oh, my screen done went out. Hold on, y'all. Well, I tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's another. There we go. So anyway, they're mad with him. So one dude, this is funny. He says, well, the joke with Joe is if you're 50-50 partners in the building and the building is half empty, in Joe's head, you own the empty part and he owns the full part. Listen, y'all. They said it's almost like a Trump move. You know what I'm saying? But again, I know y'all not going to read this whole long thing, but it's so interesting how they're talking so disrespectfully. Chet was upset because he lost the lawsuit, and he told the dude, "I'm getting raped by you, and I want to meet you ASAP today." And people were like, "Well, I'm not. I don't have to meet you. I don't have to meet you." And he said, "No, no, no. You're going to meet me. You're going to meet me, and you're going to meet me today." So if you read a lot of this, I mean, he literally, like the Jewish dude that was talking crazy about him, he did $1 billion in business with Joe, but still talk crazy like that, y'all. Imagine that. Imagine that. They said, "Oh, he's got an old school, vibe to him. You have to respect him." Now, why am I reading all this to y'all? Y'all probably like, "Ericka, this is boring. I don't care." You got to see who's moving in the space. Why are they moving the way they are? What are they doing? What's happening? Right? What's going on? What's happening out here? Why are these people so hostile to a Moroccan French man coming in with his own money? Why is this happening? Right? Again, this is global best. You can read this on your own. You sign up if you want to. It basically talks about some of those condos they're building is going to be empty. Again, this is Ohio, right? If I don't want to go back and beat up Ohio, but this is the coalition of homelessness and housing in Ohio. You do the math. You do the math. The data's out here. The streets is watching. Let's go here. Again, Ohio among the cities of top 10 smallest rent increases. Why? Lowest paying jobs in Dayton. They ain't got no money. Ain't nothing going on out there. Owning a home is becoming more costly. Some buyers are opting to rent. You know why? Them houses in Ohio, we can go on here for days, see 50K houses. But guess what they're going to need? They're going to need you to take care of them. They're going to need you, what do you call it? Repairs. They're going to need some stuff done to them. And people want to walk into already done projects. So here you go. Here, right here. And I'm going to give you I'm going to make it bigger. Let me make it bigger. These are the ones that had the top 10 metros for rent increases. Austin, Texas, number one, 40%. Portland, Oregon, 39%. New York City, empty, cold, crazy New York City, 36%. New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, 36%. Nassau County, New York, 36%. New Brunswick, New Jersey, 36%. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 30%. West Palm Beach, 30%. Miami, 30%. Denver, Colorado, 29% up on the rent. So if you're in all these cities, these areas, if you've been in Fort Lauderdale Beach, Florida, all these years and you ain't bought no house, and now this year the rent went up 30%. How do you feel? How do you feel? You don't feel good. If you in Denver, complain about buying a house, and ever since they done legalized the weed, the rent been going through the roof. How do you feel? You don't feel good. Now, you just heard those percents. They were 40, 30%. Now look at this. This is the opposite. This is the opposite. These are the places with the smallest jumps. Let me tell you. St. Louis, Missouri, 3%. Minneapolis, 3%. Chicago, 4%. Cleveland, 5%. Charlotte, North Carolina, 7%. Detroit, 8%. Warren, Michigan, 8%. Columbus, Ohio, 8%. Anaheim, California, 9%. Los Angeles, 9%. Now, what does that tell you? These are the 10 metros on the opposite end of the rent analysis. If I were you, I would study what's going on in these locations. What do all these locations have in common except for Charlotte and except for Anaheim, California, and Los Angeles? They're dying Rust Belt cities where there'll be zombies. There'll still be people living there. There'll be people having children, getting married, going to college. They'll still be there doing it. But it's not a thriving Sun Belt city. Anaheim, California, what do y'all think of? Disneyland, right? VidCon, Vid Summit, be out there. I flew out in a helicopter out there. I flew in a plane out there. Los Angeles, what do you think? Hollywood, if Hollywood ain't there, I ain't staying. Okay, Detroit, 8%, but can you collect the rent is the deal. Y'all know I'm gonna say it. Columbus, Ohio, yes, there's some tech coming there, but they couldn't even raise the rent 8%. It was too much for the people. Chicago, 4.5%. Chicago got a lot of empty spaces, but people want to be there, right? International city, lots of Russians, lots of Ukrainians, lots of people coming to Chicago. But Chicago, like we maxed on the rent, baby. We can't go no higher, right? So pay attention to what these things are. The data is numbers. Now these are the most populous metro areas that rent fell in. They were telling you rent gonna fall everywhere, right? Oh, rent's gonna fall everywhere. It didn't. It only fell in two places: Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Kansas City, Missouri. Isn't that interesting? Oh, it's gonna crash. Everything's gonna crash. The rent's gonna fall, Erica. The rents are gonna be so affordable. And they only went in two places: Milwaukee and Kansas City. If any of you are looking for some discounted rent, feel free to move to Milwaukee. Feel free to move to Kansas City, Missouri. Now you can look up here, you can read all this stuff. This is all stuff that you are able to read. Now here it is. Report confirms significant gap between Ohio renters' income and housing cost. 109 Ohio households saw their rent increase by more than $250. $250. Oh my God. They want 250 out of me. Think about that, y'all. 250. They had to write a national article because 250 was breaking the ankles of Ohio residents. Think about that. Think about it, y'all. Y'all. Oh, Ericka, you're being dramatic. No, I'm serious. That's a significant gap for these people. They are like, we can't take it. They interviewing people. They're saying it's too much. It's a drastic impact on our community. 250. They said, listen, pay for a full-time worker must roughly be $17 an hour to order a 2-bedroom apartment. This is crazy. Think about that. Okay. I'm just I'm just gonna, put it out there now. You know what I mean? Again, when people are trying to talk smack to me about Ohio, I just want to show you Ohio's lost 3,500 factories in the last 10 years. You know what I mean? They lost $7.8 billion, according to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. So you getting smart with me in the comments about how Ohio's the best, the Ohio State that did not get to the playoffs. Wait, they didn't get to what? The bowl game. They didn't get to the big bowl game. They got to a bowl game, but not the biggest. They literally are in the Great Recession. Like, people acting like I'm making this up. Like, they're in a great recession. You lose $7.8 billion out of your state. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So we can haggle, we can tussle about, Ohio, but you're not gonna like the news. You're not gonna like the data. The data doesn't support you on what you're talking about. So anyway, let me get in these comments and read some of you guys' information because I know you guys want to tussle with me, and that's okay. I love it. I love a little tussle because I'm out of here after January. Love a little tussle. Tussle with me, baby. Let me see here. Hold on. Look at this. Apartments in Austin. He flipped a B-class apartment. All he did is paint it. I can already tell you. Anytime I read anything on Texas, it cracks me up. Again, NBA Jordan Clarkson buys a South San Antonio mansion for $7.5 billion. He's an idiot. You can buy half of San Antonio for $7.5 billion. You can buy a lot of places. Okay. So let me say here. Agent J. Poole, there's no lie about the Grifter Water Company. They're definitely $30K in water bills on some of these deals. Rent too damn high and live in the cars at all-time highs. It is, unfortunately, Darren. If you are at a point where you have to live in a car, you have to say, you know what, self, let's stop. Pause. What are we doing? What community college trade can we sign up for? What can we do so that when we ain't in the car all day, that we're actually in an office or somewhere busy all day? You got to do something. She said, forget Ohio and them kids. Oh, yeah, he easily getting his RI in 10 years, easily in Miami. For sure. You going to get it. We are quick axters. Listen, imagine someone from my office. You Moroccan, they Jewish, and you like, let me tell you what you going to do. This is my family. You going to let me run you this check, and you're going to shut up. The man said he sounded like he was off the boat, y'all. How disrespectful is that? In New York City, where there's accents everywhere. Everybody got an accent. Listen. I'm just a squirrel living your world, trying to get in the Biden stole classified documents and we'll go to prison. Enjoy your show. Let the games begin. Exactly. Code for not white. He's aggressive. He's got a lot of energy. An overly confident black man. I mean, he's Moroccan, you know. Somebody said, don't make it racial. It doesn't have to be racial. Lisa Presley died. I'm not surprised. Her son died. We can talk about a lot of stuff, but anyway, we'll leave it alone. Glenn Beck live yesterday outlined George Orwell in 1984 on steroids plan implemented with B. Gates, BlackRock, Chinese investors buying up farmland and other immense acreage in the U.S. Yeah, listen, my biggest thing about Yellowstone and a lot of these TV shows and the growth of like the whole homesteading, I want more people to move out. I want a whole 2 to 5 million Americans to go, you know what? I'm gonna go live in the country. We gonna work remote. We gonna see if we get the satellite internet. I'm gonna be out of here. I'm gonna be out of here. Elliot, you can be tired of it all you want, but this is what the article said. So I'm gonna help you, Elliot. This is what I'm gonna help you. Since you're so distracted, you're talking about Lisa Presley, you're talking about everything. I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the block ministry. Have a wonderful evening. I hope you were able to read. Have a great day. Yeah, he's tap dancing. He's doing everything but listening, and that's okay. He can go do that. He can go have a talk about Lisa Presley over there on his channel. Okay. Meanwhile, Latinos are buying everything moving. I sold my last two primary residence to Latinos. I can pull up an article about Latinos, how they just moved up 13% in national income, assets, and everything. You know how? You know why? You know why? Because they're buying homes. While black people out here arguing about who gonna pay 50-50, they out here buying homes and moving all their cousins in it and keeping it a buck. The Indian folks out here in Georgetown, Texas, and Round Rock buying houses, throwing 45 Indians in it. They don't care. Long as that mortgage get paid down, we good. Y'all don't understand what's happening out here. Again, I'm not worried about him. He's blocked. 810 credit score only as good as if you have a mix on use on your credit, such as home, credit card, home loan. Basically, all 810 are not equal. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. They don't want to hear it though. They don't want to hear it. My realtor, I was taking advantage of the seller because I understood how to negotiate $20,000 off the home price tag back in 2019. Mad, I knew the game. Yeah, how dare you? How dare you? Elliot is buck dancing. Go to Miami and help that guy in the article. Stop. Cut it out. Yeah, it's almost unreal the level of petty with billions of dollars of real estate line. Life is a real life monopoly. Yeah, I want y'all to go in here and read these articles. The way they talk to each other is hecka disrespectful. Even the way now that I've read these articles and studied this kind of the marketplace of real estate, like being a deeper, more knowledge person, the way they're trying to pressure old girl to sell the Phoenix Suns and tell these billionaires that it's their time to sell these teams is hella disrespectful. It's like, oh, you was rich in the 80s when you bought them, but you ain't rich enough to keep them. Go ahead and put that team up for sale, girl. Ain't nobody got time to play with you. Go take your little money and go sit down. I mean, it's really like the level of disrespect is crazy. Sports won't save Cleveland. It won't. It won't. It won't do it. Get the likes up this year and every single year live stream should be getting the likes up mandatory. Yeah, get these likes up, man. At the end of the day, I'm out of here in January. Y'all do what y'all please, but I'm telling y'all, this is the world. I'm gonna disappear. I could come back in July. Y'all gonna be doing the same stuff. I already know. I'm trying to tell y'all. If y'all ready to, let's do it. Somebody said St. Louis is already a zombie city. Hey, it is what it is. What about San Diego? San Diego is fine. Don't worry about San Diego. Well, this isn't to talk about San Diego right at this moment. My family is leaving Chicago and drove. The violence is too much. But on the flip, I know people in NC moving there. Yeah, you'll talk to people from North Carolina. You'll talk to New Yorkers that moved to North Carolina. It's too slow. I'm gonna move to Chicago. See, you didn't have no money when you left New York. So you had to come to North Carolina and get your money together. And now you're like, well, I'm gonna go to Chicago. Okay, well, we'll see you in a couple years when you move back to North Carolina because you out of money. It's okay. It's all right. We know. Chicago property taxes are crazy. I mean, I remember I was on a bus tour and Rashada Scott sent us to this house, and I was like, okay, I'm looking at it. It's almost like a duplex. You could turn it into a twofer and rent it out. And it was like, yeah, the property taxes is 14,000. I said, wait, pause. Did you just say the property taxes were $14,000? That means 1,000 a month in property tax? No, ain't no way. And she sure enough was for real about it. And I said, I can see why these elderly people, now most states have a thing where they have a homestead tax act or an elderly person pretend, like to protect the elderly from high property tax. They pay like a reduced rate. But when she said $14,000 in property, I said, what? Girl, I'd have to demo this thing and put an apartment on it for that to be even justified. That's crazy. That's crazy. So she said, who wants to live in Milwaukee? I mean, again, Milwaukee's notoriously known for horrible racism and processes and policies and jail. Um, if you didn't notice on the news, they had several black men just discussing how the police were touching them inappropriately, groping them, doing searches on the street, pulling their underwear down. I mean, I ain't gonna go there in Milwaukee. Leave there if you can. I live in Milwaukee County. That covers a lot of area. The area is absolutely gorgeous and the rent is low. My husband and I own our business here. We are thriving. Eunice, congratulations. Because what you're going to learn out of all this, if you own your own business and you own your own land and you can kind of generate your own income, you're not at the whims per se of the local economy, you're in a different position. Again, most of y'all, when people said, oh, these people leave in California, they're going to come back because those jobs are going to let them go. Everybody can't work remote. I said, listen, if you are making 180 to 250 a year remote and you move to the middle of nowhere, get you a little 200K house with your cheap rent, your $1,000 mortgage, if that, you and your wife don't spend every dollar y'all got that year investing in some other real estate, some other stocks, some other dividends, some something, that's on y'all. You dig what I'm saying? That's on y'all. That's on y'all being doing a poor job. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the biggest thing. It's like, if y'all don't understand, like, it's a math equation. If I was making 220 and I don't do nothing but say 50K a year for the next 10 years, or 50K a year, I take it and I buy a house every year and I stay in my little small town, I'm still doing better than most. If I take 50K a year and put it with apartment syndication once every year for the next 10 years, I'm now in 10 syndications. This is why people will live in certain cities and you're like, oh, you still live there? They don't care because they got money. They going on vacations. They living well. That's the difference. But yeah, congratulations to you. She said, I want to live to Florida when I got my ends right. Hey, make a plan. She said, with the average American living paycheck to paycheck, 250 rent increases a lot. Bella, it is, but if there's a 2-parent household, 250 between two people is 125. That's just no Starbucks for the month. I mean, it just depends. Rent drop in KC, but people are protesting the high rents there. Amazing. Yeah. People avoid Austin because they don't want to pay to play. Yeah. Listen, while Texas just announced a budget surplus in the billions, I'm talking about Billy's with a B. Billy's with a B. Women are the fastest segment of van life. Yeah, people aren't doing the math on this van life, man. All right. Universal Studios is building a theme park in Frisco, Texas. Yeah. Stop. Somebody said women rather live in a van than work with a man. Y'all got to stop. Stop. Oh, y'all got to stop. Y'all need Jesus on this thing. Okay. I'm a homer in Charlotte. They are moving the whole family in the house. Listen, Charlotte. When I see Charlotte, y'all, I lived in Charlotte before I moved to Texas. I lived out there for 6 months, and I was living in a cheap house. Our friend ran out of money on his flip, so he let us move in. It was ghetto, right? So we in the flip. That's not done, right? It's, the floors ain't right. It ain't done, right? So we in there, and I'm like, man, I'm having a hard time finding decent work that I think I would enjoy. I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave the whole state of North Carolina. I'm gonna just get a whole break. right? Because I didn't get married and something had happened. I was like, I'm leaving the state. Close my business. I'm leaving. I remember seeing this duplex, and my uncle tried hard. He said, "Listen, Erica, I'll give you the money to close on it. We'll close it. We'll come help you fix up the one side. You move into that side, then you fix the next side. It just needs some paint and some carpet and some new kitchen supplies. You can rent it out." And y'all, the duplex was, I think, 125. No, there was a foreclosed one that was 70. It was real rough. 70, that was rough. But the one that was half decent was like 125. 125 to 150. That same area, y'all, with them same duplexes are like $450,000. So this whole time I've been in Texas, I've been like, and they probably more than that. Because Nasir said, "Oh, I think I know what street you're talking about. I think those are close to 800,000 now." I wouldn't be surprised. But when people sit here and try to tell me they don't, I don't want to own stuff. I don't, the responsibility. I'm like, baby, you playing Monopoly all wrong. Good luck. It's gonna be rough. Somebody said they can't wait to leave Atlanta. Man, Macon is always open. It's open. Macon is open. They said Philly look like a zombie city too. Illinois is broke. That's why they legalized marijuana and tax 20% off the top, 10% sales on your tax purpose. I mean, I could have told you that. But there's also heavy corruption between New Orleans, honestly, Louisiana, the whole state, and Chicago. I don't know who's more corrupt, but I know that Chicago has more lawsuits from citizens that they've had to pay out in the billions. So it's been crazy. D Brown said Atlanta been great for me. I have 5 rentals, all tenants, 100% payments last 7 years. D Brown said, "Run me my monies. I don't care what's going on. Cookout, 4th of July, school, children, run me my money." Chicago property taxes nut. My friend was paying for a shy condo more than my San Diego house. Oh, good gracious. Not the mortgage, but the taxes. See, that's the stuff right there. This person said, "Cold weather, the taste, the zoo, violence, and the best pizza ever." But for real, the history is vast. Chicago is special to indigenous people who know. You already know. That's why the library caught on fire. Y'all can never see that. Thank you so much for $20 super chat. Legacy is a lifestyle. I appreciate all your content. May your tendency for delivering the truth continue to reach those who are ready and willing to hear. Yeah, I read this thing the other day. It really encouraged me. It was like, I'm here to speak to who's ready to hear. I'm here to gather those who are ready to go. I'm here for those who are seeing the wave and ready to go. I cannot convince the unconvincible. I cannot convince people it's time. I can't convince people anything else. When the student is ready to teach your peers, but I'm just letting y'all know, if you don't think it's time now, good luck. If you at the store, they were showing in New York where they were paying $9 for some eggs at a bodega. And many people laugh about, why do people care about eggs? Eggs is one of the easiest meals you can make children in the morning. Eggs is one of the easiest meals on the weekend. Eggs go in a lot of meals where you baking and cooking. Eggs go in a lot of stuff. And it's kind of a range. Oh, like if you see a kid drop an egg, you see a bunch of videos on YouTube. Hand your kid an egg. Look how careful the babies are with eggs. Because eggs were so cheap. It wasn't even a thing. It was like, oh yeah, give your kid an egg. Let them walk around with it. Ha ha ha. You think they letting babies walk around with eggs right now? They do another egg challenge? I doubt it. the price of food comparison, the desire for attention, right? So at the end of the day, I want y'all to understand, I thank you for those who are here. I'm here for those who are ready, who want to listen, who care. At the end of the day, we're going to run these ads and live our life. That's what we can do. That's all we can do. All right. So again, Zori said, my gas bill $250 a month. T said, Kansas is building more affordable housing with apartments costing $800 to $950. But let them tell you they struck 800. They don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? D Brown said all 5 of her properties have less than $10K property tax yearly. There you go. If Texas was a nation, it'd be the 13th largest economy in the world. You already know. Everything in Charlotte a grip now. Smart Money Chick said, I'm not selling another piece of property. Don't do it. Denso said my first house in Charlotte was $149,000. I sold it for $340,000. Congratulations. If Macon has fewer people, I'm there. Listen, Macon got fewer people. I saved almost $70,000 last year between my rentals and my job. Congratulations. Eggs are full of nutrients. Yeah, I mean, it just at this point, what I want people to understand is like This is where we've been talking for the past 4 years that there's processing facilities going down. There were thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of cows that died last year, hundreds of thousands of chickens that died last year, hundreds of thousands of pigs that died in a tornado in Idaho, and half of Idaho got tore up. And so when people say, oh my God, where are these food costs coming from? And you like, weren't you paying attention last year when all these crops died? Weren't you paying attention last year when all these horses and animals and stuff died? You forgot that quick? That's how most Americans are. 90% are just running every day. They get up and they at the grocery store like, oh, what happened? The eggs are $5. This is crazy. Right? It's not crazy if you've been paying attention. It's not crazy if you've been noticing. Why if you go on Instagram and you go on Pinterest, a lot of these farms are sold out. They sold out. They already got stuff pre-bought. The cows pre-bought, the chickens, the eggs, everything. It's gone. My husband paid $10 for eggs in Pflugerville. I'm gonna go to the grocery store, y'all, here in Texas. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna tell you how much these eggs are. I'm gonna look. I don't really do eggs. I have to do completely organic for various reasons. Somebody said eggs, 2 pack of 18 was $17. Egg and rice. Listen, a lot of our Asian friends, egg and rice. They put egg as the protein. If they ain't got no shrimp, they gonna whip that egg and rice together. That's protein. People don't know about that. Eggs are a good source of protein. Yes, they are. She said it's a ban on babies and eggs. Listen, y'all got to know. Urban chick farmer had got 6 hens. They lay daily. Congratulations. Yeah, all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, food is expensive. They ain't been paying attention all this time. There you go. Exactly. They're learning to bake from scratch. Listen, all these people reading like if you look on TikTok, there's a black guy, I forgot his name. He does a bunch of baking and he'll like, you only need this many items to bake this food. Right? You only need this to bake this food. And now you got people going to the store buying the items they need to make some food and realize I don't have the money. Right? So again, when I talk about Grant Cardone and I talk about the fact that these people are trying to convince you not to buy a home, y'all, the desire for me to have a home with a backyard where I can have a little garden is through the roof. Because I know just controlling some strawberries, controlling some blueberries, controlling some lemons, just some stuff, some fresh basil in your backyard, the access. That's why when my friend and me used to fix fences in backyards, it was funny. We go in people's backyards, ain't nothing back there. Kids don't play back there. The dog don't even crap back there. They don't even be back there. Just an empty backyard. You're going to see that change in the next 2 years. You're going to see all kind of gardens popping up. You're going to see them all over the place. Somebody said eggs are still cheap in Wisconsin, $4 to $5 a dozen. Congratulations. But listen, let me go in here one more time and look in here. I'm at the hour mark. I just want y'all to talk to kind of get that over y'all head, because again, here's the Universal theme park for Frisco. But if you go on the Real Deal and you just click on the little the different states, oh, they out here dishing it. They telling you who, what, when, where, who are the players. They get in a little mini city. Again, there's a house buying Dave. There's a lot of Daves out here. I know. We got Diamond Dave. We got Diamond Cut Media Dave. There's house buying Dave. We brought him on the show. Him and his wife across the street were these houses. And they said, why are they like 200,000 more than ours? It's the same type of house. Him and his wife still bought a house across the street. They said, we still going to buy our house. Don't worry. They building the theme park over there. They're building the LGB, what do you call it? The women's golf? PGA, what do you call it? Women's golf? LPGA? That's why the houses were so much more expensive. He didn't even know, and he's a mortgage broker. If you're not reading the economic development plans of your city, you don't know what's coming. You don't know what's coming. That's how, y'all, I know the areas I pick to do my future building in, and I know what's coming. I know the math. I know the documents. I see the economic development plans, the people that are coming to spend money in the next 5 to 10 years. I told you about the people building land, building 7,000 homes in South Texas, Austin. 2 years ago, they just now started building. These people are lining these highways up because they know you're coming. They know you're leaving these small places. You're leaving these cities and towns. They're cheap, but you can't get no work. They're cheap, but you don't have the skills to stay there. Because who's going to be staying in Rust Belt towns? People who can fix things. They're going to get government contracts fixing the roads, fixing the cities. I remember driving to Yellowstone by myself, and I was driving back through Idaho through some small park, and they was paving the whole road. I mean, it was a crew. It had women on the work crew, men on the work crew. I said, everybody out here trying to get this dollar. This is a government thing. Finishing this road, they trying to get a dollar, and I ain't even hating. Then I was driving through to Yellowstone. There was a bunch of fiber companies. It was two women on the truck. I said, I don't even know women do fiber like that, but I do now. They getting these checks in these towns. So you staying in these little cities, you stay in these little towns, but you got skills. You straight. Now pay attention. This is the most important part of this article right here. Universal Parks and Resorts, the theme park, the entertainment arm, they bought a 100-acre tract in December using a shell company based in Delaware. Right? Because people be telling about shell companies, but they don't really tell you, like, people use shell companies to hide stuff. The park will include 4 to 5 Universal themed interacting experiences, plus a 300-room hotel. It will be similar to the one they have in Orlando, Los Angeles, but smaller, much smaller. Now, why would they do this, you guys? Why would they do this in near DFW, Dallas? What is the population of Dallas? Dallas has a bigger population. DFW Metro has a bigger population than 31 states. Then on top of that, if you're a mom and pop in Kansas City and you're like, I'm going to take my kid to Disneyland. Are you going to take your kid to Disneyland, or are you going to take them over to Texas? You a mom and pop in Oklahoma. You going to take your kids all the way to Florida or California? Nah, you taking them to Texas. Are you a mom and pop living in the Midwest and y'all losing that money? Where are you going to take them? Texas. See, these companies aren't stupid. They know that y'all running short on cash, but you always going to try to figure a way to take that baby, take that good baby to some Disneyland. How can I take my baby to Disneyland? You know how? You know how you're going to do it? Go to the one in Texas. Right? Everybody up from all the way from Detroit, from the Midwest. They like, you don't make it to Florida, no worries. Florida got too expensive. Florida hotels too expensive. Come to Texas. You can't afford over there? Come to Texas. Now, when workers complain about they can't afford nowhere to live in Florida, oh, don't worry. These workers coming to Texas. They still gonna work for Universal, but they can be in Texas. That's what that is, y'all. That is just a way to say, how can we keep getting this money? How? How can we keep getting this money? We got to move it. We got to put it somewhere in Texas. So again, I think I've talked to y'all enough tonight. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if y'all really want to learn what's going on in the markets, you really want to come and understand how real estate's going to move in the next couple of years. What is it going to do? This is where you go. This is where you go. This is where you go. So they say crickets and grasshoppers are high in protein and low in fats. You go ahead at it, baby. You can have it. Thank you for the $5 super sticker, JSL Vaughn. Who's going to Universal in Texas? I'm not. That's what you think. There'll be plenty. Trust me. The guy and girl who parents don't have enough money to put gas in the car to drive you. I remember being a little kid and our family drove us from North Carolina to Florida. We eating snacks out the van. We're so excited to go to Disney. What is it? Disney World or Disneyland? Whatever the ones in Florida. From North Carolina. So imagine you a young parent. You got student loans. Your rent's high. And you want to take your babies to Disneyland. You going to Texas. You going right down here to Texas. They ain't going to know no different. They too young. You take them later. And then you still take your pictures for TikTok and Instagram. And it's all new. So you know the Instagram going to be out there on fleek. Okay? So lots of people are going to go to Texas, Mike. Whatever you do, don't come to South Carolina. We love our space and peace. Thank you, Dr. Dix, for our super chat. Texas growing closer than Florida and California. You already know. I would like to move to Dallas. Hey, you and millions of other people. Disney building a resort in Hilton Head too. Oh yeah, poor Hilton Head black people. They been stole all that land from them, but it's okay. Look, save that money to feed the babies, man. These people don't care about that. These people will take that last bit of money, go to Universal, then next week be on the gram talking about where the free haircuts at, where the free backpacks, where the free school supplies. Be like, didn't I just see you at Universal with your babies? So anyway, all right, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classy Clown Blog. Thank you guys so much for being here. You'll see us the 1st of February. We'll have another credit live training. We also have a link for a lot of the live trainings. We'll have one coming up this weekend on the 14th. Digital real estate, how to pull out 100K out of the markets. We will always be educating you as long as possible, which means till the end of January. And I want you guys to really enjoy the channel, enjoy what we produce here, enjoy the commentary. You can catch us out on the road. March 29th through April 4th, we'll be in Panama City, Panama. We have a lot of new faces who signed up, and I'm super excited to see you guys. We also have July 17th through the 22nd, Zanzibar, Tanzania. We have a great group of new people coming in July. I'm super excited. Africa's going to be really special, and it's a really great time. We have payment plans, so that way it helps you guys allocate your funds, so you're not dipping in big money, big money. But I hope you guys get to come. I hope you get to see those new spaces. I hope you get to travel. All this is, you can have the year you want if you plan, but you got to plan. So you guys, this is your girl Ericka, Classic Clown Blog. I'm so excited. Have a great night, you guys.